6 months ago, Solero said to us, the first week in November, I go to Naples. Would you like to go with me? Would you like to go with him? It is something we have dreamed about all our lives. And since Solero asked us to go with him, we haven't talked or thought about anything else. Who knows when we'll ever get another chance? How many people on Capri have ever been to Naples? Has my mother? No. Has my father? No. Have your mother and father? Yes. When? They were born there. Petro nodded. If you are poor and live on Capri, there are 2 ways to get to Naples. You can be born there or you can go with Solero. Perhaps Solero will go again. Go again, Petro laughed. He has not been there for 10 years, and he goes now only because his sister is getting married. Maybe he has another sister? Petro nodded. Another sister named Margherita. Then perhaps Margherita will get married and he will go again. Fine, splendid. We will wait for Margherita's wedding. She is beautiful and everyone loves her. There's only one thing wrong. Wrong? Yes, there is one thing wrong. On her last birthday? Yes, on her last birthday. Go on. On her last birthday, my dear Mikkel, Margherita was 4 years old. A bell began to ring upstairs, and Mikkel jumped to his feet. Goodbye, Petro, he smiled. Have a good time. Good enough for both of us. He climbed a few steps and then looked down. When you come back, you'll tell me all about it every minute. And Mikkel, Petro looked up at him. Mikkel, I'm not going. You don't think I'd go without you, do you? It was Mikkel's turn to stare. Petro, you can't mean it. It's the most stupid, ridiculous, impossible. The bell was ringing louder now. And Mikkel took another step. Petro, I can't argue now. I have to go. But you can't mean it. You can't. You have to go. Don't you see how I'd feel? Mikkel, I'm not going. What fun would it be? We planned to go to Naples together, and when we go, we'll go together the way we planned. The bell was being rung with both hands now. It clamored and clanked. Petro, please, you have to go. The bell had been thrown to the floor. It fell with a heavy thud and a small whimpering tinkle. Mikkel gave Petro one last desperate look and disappeared up the stairs. Petro? Petro swung around and saw Monsieur Jacques standing behind him. Yes? Where do you have to go, Petro? Mikkel seemed very insistent. Nowhere. Nowhere? Monsieur Jacques smiled. That's a strange place to send a friend. Are you sure it doesn't have another name? Petro shrugged. Some people call it Naples. Naples? Monsieur Jacques looked surprised. Are you going to Naples, Petro? No. Why not? Petro shrugged his shoulders again. It's a long story. I have to go now, Monsieur Jacques. Wait a minute, Petro. When were you going to Naples? This morning. With whom? Solero and... Really, I have to go, Monsieur Jacques. With Solero and Mikkel? Petro nodded. And now Mikkel isn't going? Petro nodded again. Why not? Please, Monsieur Jacques, Mikkel isn't going because we're here? Is that right, Petro? Petro's eyes flashed. You shouldn't have made me tell you, he cried. I didn't want to. I know you didn't want to, Petro. But this is a serious thing, a trip to Naples. How long have you planned it? About 6 months. 6 months, and now suddenly it's off? And all because of us? He sat down on the bottom step and pushed his cap off his forehead. I know how you feel, Petro. I know because I remember my first big trip. My family lived in a little village 50 miles from nowhere. He smiled. You see, I had a nowhere too, Petro, and its other name was Paris. Paris. Whenever I said the word, it was as if a whole orchestra were playing. It made me feel wonderful inside just thinking about it. It made me feel rich and full and, well, juicy. Then one day my uncle had to go to Paris. He took me with him. It was a wonderful trip, Petro. No trip I'll ever take as long as I live will be as wonderful as this first one. So you see how I feel making you and Mikkel miss this chance. He looked at Petro and smiled. I don't suppose it would do any good if I offered to wash the dishes for Signora Pagano while Mikkel was away. She'd die before she'd let you. I could break Lord Derby's arm so he'd stop ringing that bell. Petro laughed. He'd find a way to ring it with his teeth or his toes. It's no use, Monsieur Jacques. Mikkel won't go no matter what you do or say, and I won't go without him. Ah, Monsieur Jacques looked up as Mikkel appeared at the top of the stairs. Mikkel, you must help me. I have a problem. A problem, Monsieur? Yes, come down. I have a question to ask you. Yes? If you were a man, Mikkel, a rather nice man, let us say, a man with a good heart, a man who liked to be happy and liked to see other people happy, and you had caused 2 boys to miss a trip to Naples, what would you do? Petro! Mikkel stared at his friend. Petro, you didn't tell. I tried not to tell Mikkel. Really, I did, but he kept asking me questions and putting words into my mouth. He wouldn't let me leave. Don't blame Petro, Monsieur Jacques patted Michel's arm. I made him tell me, really, I did. Anyway, I knew there was something wrong early this morning. A boy's face doesn't grow a foot longer overnight without a reason. Now, let's see what we can do. Perhaps, the island is called Capri, and this little village is called Capri, too. Is that right? Michel nodded. Are there any other villages on the island? One other, a village called Anacapri. Monsieur Jacques laughed. Someone certainly liked the name of Capri around here. Anacapri, Anna. I believe that is a Greek word meaning up or upward. Is Anacapri up from here? Up? Both boys laughed. Up? Would you say that 784 steps was up? 784 steps? Impossible! What does one see when one gets to the top? The village of Anacapri. Is it worth it? Michel shrugged his shoulders. It is all right. Nothing special? Michel shook his head. Too bad, Monsieur Jacques rubbed his forehead. I thought perhaps we could go there today. Monsieur, Michel hesitated. Monsieur, I'm afraid you don't understand. I can't leave the inn today. Naples, Anacapri, it doesn't matter. But if you went to Naples, you would be gone a week. This would be only part of a day. Michel shook his head. Even for a part of a day, it is impossible. My father needs me here at the inn. Really, Monsieur, I am needed. He isn't being unreasonable. He wants to be sure that you and Lord Derby and Herr Nordstrom are happy and... Ha! So I must be happy, must I? Whether I like it or not, I must be happy? Monsieur Jacques rubbed his forehead again. Well, now, let's see. What would make me happy? Boys, he put his arm around Michel and Petro. Boys, I have it. Michel, where is your father? He was in the patio the last time I saw him. Good. Wait here. I'll be back in a few minutes. As Monsieur Jacques left the kitchen, Michel started up the stairs 2 steps at a time. Come on, he waved to Petro. Come on, quick. We can see and hear everything that goes on in the patio from the upstairs window. Hurry, I want to know what he's going to do. The 2 boys leaned on the windowsill. Michel was right. Monsieur Jacques' words came up through the window as clearly as if he were talking to them instead of to Signor Pagano. Signor Pagano? Yes, Monsieur, you were right. Right? Signor Pagano looked pleased. It was nice to be told that one was right, especially by someone one wanted to please. Yes, Monsieur Jacques? Yes, Signor Pagano, you were right. You said last night that this was a quiet little village, half asleep in the sun. You were very right, Signor Pagano. You like our village, Monsieur? Signor Pagano beamed. No. The smile faded from Signor Pagano's face. You are not pleased with it, Monsieur? Not pleased a bit. On second thought, Signor Pagano, I don't think you were right at all. You said the village was half asleep. Look again, Signor Pagano, look again. It is not asleep. It is dead. Absolutely impossibly dead. And I am bored. I'm sorry, Monsieur. Signor Pagano, your being sorry does not help me. In fact, it makes me more bored than ever. I like gay, happy people around me. I am bored with dead villages and sorry people. I think I shall leave tomorrow. No, tonight. I shall leave tonight. Oh, Monsieur, really, Monsieur, isn't there anything I could do? Do? What is there to do? This place is all right for Lord Derby, who thinks only of beauty. He can go around oohing and ahhing all day and be perfectly happy. And Herr Nordstrom, he sits with his nose in a book all day. He could be in a cave and not know the difference. But I, Signor Pagano, I must have some excitement. What is there to do around here? You've not seen the island, Monsieur, or the village of Anacapri, up 784 steps, all hewed out of the rock. It is wonderful, Monsieur. There's nothing like it anywhere else in the world. Just think of it, 784 steps. I don't want to think of it. It makes me tired just saying the number. Climb 784 steps? What do you think I am, a goat? A goat? That's it, a goat. I never thought of it before. Capri is a Latin word meaning goat. No wonder everything around here is named Capri. One must be a goat to live here, Signor Pagano. The men who discovered this place realized that. The island of Capri, the village of Capri, Anacapri, Capri, 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 everywhere one turns. But I, Signor Pagano, am not, thank heavens, a goat. And not being a goat, I see no reason to spend any more of my time here on this mass of rocks. There is the water, Monsieur. Do you not like to swim? Had God wanted me to climb mountains, Signor Pagano, he would have given me hooves. Had he wanted me to swim, he would have given me fins. There are boats, Monsieur. Boats? Yes, boats. Perhaps you'd like to sail around the island. It is beautiful, I assure you. People come from all over the world just to make the trip. Surely you would not want to leave without seeing it. Well, could I get a sailboat for you, Monsieur? Signor Pagano said eagerly. There is one on the island for hire. I have my own boat, thank you. But you cannot sail it alone. That is right. I would need some help. I could get someone to help you. Could you? For the first time during the whole conversation, Monsieur Jacques gave Signor Pagano an encouraging glance. Could you? Someone who knows the waters? Someone who has spent a great deal of time on the beaches? There is Ricardo. Ricardo? A fisherman. Ah, I hate fishermen. They smell of fish. That is true, Monsieur. Signor Pagano tried to look patient. Then there is Giulio. Giulio? A sailor. Ah, I hate sailors. But Monsieur, I said, I hate sailors. Very well, Monsieur. Let's see. There is Monsieur. I have it, the very one. Not a fisherman? No. Not a sailor? No. He knows the waters? He lives in them. Monsieur Jacques looked quizzical. Not a fish? Not a fish. Not a goat. Not a goat. Is his name Capri? Signor Pagano laughed. No, not Capri. Good. All this place needs is a family by the name of Capri. I can just hear it. This is Signor Capri, who lives in the village of Capri on the island of Capri. Every morning he goes up to Anna Capri. This is his wife, Signora Capri, and his children Mario and Ferdinando Capri, and the baby, the joy of their life, they've named Capricicos. I don't know how to say that one, Capri. Signor Pagano laughed. You do not have to worry, Monsieur. There is a boy, and his name is Michel. Michel? Monsieur Jacques looked surprised. You think he is too young? Signor Pagano asked, looking worried. Perhaps. But really, Monsieur, I assure you he is not. He knows the waters better than anyone I know. He lives in them, swimming and sailing. There is not a rock or a reef he does not know. Even the ripples mean something to him. He reads them like a book. Really, Monsieur, you could not find a better guide on the whole island. Then why didn't you tell me about him first? Monsieur Jacques looked furious. Why all those fishermen and sailors, Ricardos and Giulios? Well, said Signor Pagano hesitantly, you see, Michel, for all his love of the water, is really a very good boy. Very good. He is a great help to his mother and me. A great help. And at a time like this, with guests to be taken care of, you do not want him to go with me? Oh, no, Monsieur, I do not mean that. I want more than anything else to make you and your friends happy. If taking Michel with you will make you happy, that is all that matters. I still think he might be a little young. Oh, Monsieur, I assure you. Perhaps if he had a friend, another boy to go with us, I would feel a little better. Does he have a friend? Yes, Monsieur, a very good friend, Petro. Then I shall take him too. Signor Pagano shook his head. That's impossible. Impossible? He has gone to Naples. To Naples? This morning early. But I saw a boy with Michel not 5 minutes ago. The donkey boy. Isn't that Petro? It is impossible. Signor Pagano started toward the kitchen. But it might just be. Michel and Petro leaned back against the wall and looked at each other. That boat. Michel took a deep breath. Have you seen it, Petro? It is more wonderful than anything I've seen in all my life. I never dreamed I've had a chance to sail in it. Petro, this is better than going to Naples. Naples will wait for us and anyone can walk on her streets. But when does a poor boy get a chance to set foot on a boat like that? When, Petro? Petro grinned. Why, today, Michel, this very morning, this very second. Stupid. Come on. Can't you hear? Your father calling.